My question is, can I refrain from talking to a Muslim who is not a blood relative of mine, but always tries to pass derogatory remarks at me, which causes fitna? Jazakallah khair.
Wajazakum. See, again, a lot of the people think that or misunderstand the hadith where the Prophet says, alayhi salatu wasalam, it is not permissible for two Muslim people to boycott one another more than 3 days. They meet and each one gives his back to the other and they part their ways. This hadith is related to normal Muslims. Me and a brother. We had a conflict. We had an argument. It was heated and we disagreed and left. I may see this brother tomorrow, the day after, or the day after that, and not give him salam. And he may do the same, ignoring me totally for 3 days. After these 3 days, this is a concession in Islam. You're allowed to vent in these 3 days, to cool down and to maybe reflect on your relationship with that person. But after 3 days are over, if we were to meet, it is totally prohibited to give one's back to each other, and we have to exchange the minimal requirement, which is Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. He has to reply wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh, and we may depart. We may not exchange anything else. The salam is the minimal requirement accepted. Now, this is in case of us meeting one another. If it so happens that he lives on the other side of town, and I don't see him or meet him at work or at uni or anywhere else, and we don't see one another for a whole year, are we sinful? Of course not. I'm not obliged to call him. So, if you don't like a particular sister who's not a blood relative, who's just a colleague, a friend, a neighbor, and it feels that she's pulling you down and she's managing to bring the worst in you whenever you meet. So in order to preserve your iman, you say to yourself, she's bad news. I'm not going to call her. I don't want to get anything to do with her. And you don't. And she doesn't call you. And you guys never meet in a mall or in a wedding or at a gathering. Even if you don't see one another for 10 years or speak with one another for 10 years, there's no sin on you. The sin is when you guys meet and you pretend that you did not see her, or when she calls and says, Assalamu alaikum, and you don't reply for her salam. This is where the sin is, and Allah knows best.